Hello everybody, today I'm going to show you how do I use Neovim with my Copilot.vim plugin and the CodeAI and Vim plus its agent, which are all Neovim plugins that I wrote in order to build my own environment of development using LLMs. But first of all, let's get a tour of why did I write this code AI.nvim plugin and what are the strengths and the drawbacks of the current implementations or current global usage of AI LLMs. So we all know that people use famous AI or LLMs. These are ChatGPT, DeepSeek, Gemini, or Claude. Most people use AI in web browsers. For example, they open the web browser and they go to the chat interface of the LLMs in the web browsers, and they ask their questions in the chat interface. That's the first usage of AI tools or LLMs. The second usage is about installing plugins into the usual IDE that can be VS Code, PHP Storm, or any other IDE. They install, for example, Copilot plugins or Gemini plugins or any whatever plugin they want in order to activate the LLM feature in their IDE. The third way to use AI is, for example, to get a dedicated or built for AI IDE. I mean, they have Cursor, Windsurf, and if they really want Neovim, they can use Avante for that usage. Most of those usage are good. They can suit some needs, but for my need, I think I had to use more how to say it, a more customized tooling. So first of all, I've chosen Neovim as the text editor, and I installed the NVChat distribution. Right? Then on this setup, I have installed the Copilot.vim plugin, which is the one distributed by GitHub, the official one for Vim. And I also use a self-made plugin, which is called CodeAI.nvim, and I use it in conjunction with its agent. Let me show you what am I talking about. There is here in GitHub, in my repository, it's a public one. You have a plugin named CodeAI.nvim. You have an old video. Be careful, it is a quite old video. I have to update it. So it explains what I use it and how I use it. It works. It can work standalone. Really, it can work standalone, but I prefer using it with an agent, which is a TypeScript application, which is my agent. So it proxies all the requests I make to the LLM's API. And this is the list of my tools. I am going to explain a bit further why I don't think using the AI in web browsers is not enough. It's not enough for me because, for example, if I have an existing project and I want to get the list of the items, so I want to develop a list of whatever item in database. The problem is you have to provide some context to the LLM in order for it to give you the correct piece of code. For example, the LLM doesn't know if it should use raw SQL query or ORM, and it doesn't know how is the database schema. And for those reasons, the LLM could provide you with a non-accurate answer. And if you want the LLM to give you an accurate answer, you have to copy and paste much pieces of your code into the chat and then provide them a context in order to make it give you an accurate answer. There's also a problem with LLMs in IDEs. I mean the VS Code plugins or Cursor or Windsurf or Avanti 2. For example, in these IDEs, you solve the context problem that I mentioned here in the previous chapter of using AI within browsers. So you can provide the project the project context, but you can also provide the context for one project. You cannot provide the context for multiple projects. Also, one thing is you can use one LLM at a time. I think you query in the chat window, and when you perform your query, you are asking the prompt to one LLM at a time. You can switch LLM, of course, but you switch LLM and then you have to copy paste another time your prompt. And one thing I don't really like, people love it, but I don't, is the in-place editing. I don't like the way cursor work because it directly affect the code base. You know, with the green and red diffs, and it shows what is it going to change. And yeah, this is a good thing for some people, but for me, I don't really like it. So I decided to use it my way with my plugins and my configuration. It's a custom one that I'm going to show you. And with my plugin, I configure the context. So I defined what are the files that are scanned uh, as context. Then I configure in a file too the system instructions. I can have a multi-project context. I explain myself because this might not be clear. For example, I provide the front end context, and I also provide the backend context. And then when I perform my prompt or my query to the LLM, it can answer with both what I have to do in the backend side, and what have I got to do in the front end side. We are going to have a demonstration later. I can use as many LLM I want, as many LLMs I want. Currently, I'm using 3 LLMs, which are Gemini, OpenAI, and Claude. And I have an history. Okay, so let's have configuration. Let's have a demonstration for right now. Say we have this application. This application, which is a tiny inventory application, and I have the API, which is a Symfony project. I also have the admin front, The admin front is because it's a SaaS software. So you have the admin front, which is used by the owner of the solution. For example, if you are using LinkedIn or if you are using Facebook or Twitter, um, the staff of those companies always have a kind of admin panel where they can disable accounts, remove groups, or remove a page, or take some moderation actions. And that is what I call an admin front end. Right? And then we have the user front end, which is the public facing interface where you and me, we use LinkedIn or Facebook or Twitter via this user front end interface. All right, so if I want to implement, for example, something that in the admin front end, and we are going to demonstrate it later, um, I have to prompt the LLM for the feature I want to implement, and it is going to answer me what do I have to do in the admin front end part, and what do I have to do in the backend front end part 2. The admin front is a React application. This is just a choice for demonstration. It can be something else. And the user front is also a React application. Well, so let's see the code now. Here we have the code base. As you can see, I've opened Neovim in the parent folder of the code bases. We have the admin front, API, and user front code base. And here I have the AI scanned files. What is it for? The AI scanned file is a file where I describe and list all the files I want the LLM to consider as a context. And you can see the plus signs, which are indicating that we add those files to the context. But we can see that we have minus signs too, which instructs to remove this one. For example, for the API part, it is a Symfony application, so it's helpful for me to provide to add the composer.json file as the part of the context, but also the services.yaml and all the YAML files in the packages directory. But the most important is the files I provide in the SRC folder, which are all the files that is going to be developed. We all know that any Symfony applications has a SRC kernel file, but it's not useful. It's useless for me to provide it as as a context. So I instructed to remove it. Then we have the admin front part. The same as in the API part, I found it useful to provide the package.json in order for the LLM to know which packages, which npm packages are installed, and also the tsconfig files. For this particular application, tsconfig is just including tsconfig.app and tsconfig.node, but I provided it just for the convenience. And as far as admin front and user front are basically the same, I just copy pasted the configuration of admin front for user front. You probably noticed I removed assets. It's because assets are mostly binary files. and I don't need to provide them as context for the LLM. And then I have a comment. This comment is part of my codei.nvim plugin, and I can list all the scanned files. Here they are. So I have 33 kilobytes of files that will be analyzed, and I have two ways to display it. I have the display sorted by size, so I know that the biggest file is userlist.tsx, and it is sorted descending, and I know then that the smallest file is this vit.env configuration file, which is just 38 bytes. All right. So this is a way to see, for example, I just give you an example. If I ever accidentally included, package lock.json, which is a huge file, but pretty useless for what I mean, what I want. So I can see it. I can see it in the top of the list because it's a huge one, which is consuming tokens for nothing. So I will be then able to just remove that file because I see it in the top biggest file. Then I have on the right the sorted by name list. The sorting by name helps me to see if I have included a useless directory or anything like that, because not all the directories are useful for the usage. Right, so now that I saw that everything is correct, um, this is how I include files. And you might wonder, how do I use it? How do I provide it as a context? So for that, you can just visit the codei.nvim README page on GitHub, and you can see here a link about multi-turn chat. Multi-turn chat because I provide a JSON like this to the LLM. So first of all, I have the messages. You know what it is. It's the array of messages. The system instruction, help a TypeScript software developer writing a Node.js backend application, blah, 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 blah. Okay, it might be a long string. Then for obviously the first question is made by the user. So the user asks, I need your help on this project. The LLM is supposed to answer, tell me the project file structure. Then the user answer with the project is composed of 10 files, and then it gives the list of the files. And then the assistant, the model, asks again, what's the content of this file? Then I answer, the user answer with this, and it is looping through all the 10 files of the project. So I give, when the user answers, it answers the content of the file is, and you can see here the triple backtick, which indicates it is formatted with Markdown. So yeah, I give all the context, and at the very end of the multi-turn chat, I have the prompt. So it's Markdown. So here you have the how to say that, the title. It's a first level title, male members of the club. And when visiting the club's route, I want a button in the last, yeah, so I want, the sentence begins with I want because this is the prompt. All right. And then I give the model and the temperature and several parameters. So this is why and how I use the scanned files. Then I have another element, which is the system instruction. As you can see, It's markdown formatted, and I have a quite well moderated length instruction. I say that you are a senior full stack developer with expertise on PHP, TypeScript, Symfony, React, blah blah blah. And I'm describing the project structure in the system instruction. You have the Symfony API in the .api folder. You have the fronter for super administrator, sorry. Um, Then you have the for the simple public users, the code base in user front and the PostgreSQL database, a PG database, which schema is in database schema.sql. The database schema here is just something like this, and it's the user database. There's no more for the moment, but we are going to change that. And then I give some formatting instructions. I instructed to answer with the full file content and not with the snippets, because in big files I can be confused if they only give snippets. I prefer the LLMs to give the full files. This can be heavy in answer, but yeah, that's what I want. And then I ask it to stay consistent. I instruct to never use doctrine nor API platform and stick with raw SQL queries. And as far as they have the package.json file, don't hesitate to propose new installation. And for the PostgreSQL database, you can propose, but just provide the statement, right? So this big file is in the multi-turn chat given at the very beginning here. And then we have the loop on all the, oh no, it's not here, excuse me. It's here. And then we have the loop on the files of the project. All right? And then what do? I prompt the LLMs. How do I use it? I write my prompts in a file, and then I will select it and then give it to the LLMs for it to process. So I prefer to write down my prompt instead of having it in a file I don't know. But I prefer to save and to have the freedom to do what I want with my prompt. And here I am for the moment leaving it here, so I am just erasing it. Oh no. I am going to show you what is existing. What is existing is sorry. So the Symfony is running. The admin is running on port 3000, and here is the admin login form. It's running on the port 3000, and then this is the login. I can log in, and then here I get the informations, and I already have another page, which is this page, where I can see the list of users. We can see that this is the content of this table, the users table, and we only have one user in the database. I can go back here. Yeah. Okay, this is the existing thing, and as you can see, I just have the listing. So in the CRUD terminology, I don't have the create, I just have the read, I don't have the update, and I don't have the delete. So one thing is we are going to create the C of CRUD, which is the create one. In order to do that, we are going to prompt the LLM for me to generate the needed code. I just want to show you that in the repository, for example, we have the user repository. And what we can see is I just have the find one by emails method, which is this one. The find one by username, which is basically the same. The find all is the one that is used for this, and then that's all. I don't have the save or anything, so I don't have the repository method to create a user yet, and I am going to prompt the LLM to create it. But that's not the only missing thing. One thing is I also just have the login, the profile, and the user list. The user list is this, right? And I don't have any form. I don't have any form for creating the one user. And we are going to ask with one prompt, we are going to ask the LLM to provide us the code for the backend part, the API part, and the code for the front-end part. So let's go. We are, excuse me, yeah, we are going to do that. I want to create users in I want to create users. To create users in database, and the real goal is to implement a CRUD, but you're going to step by steps. Okay, step by step. We started with the listing of users. Now we are going to implement the creation of users in the admin front. All right. So in the admin front, I want user to be created via a form. The form should have the following fields now. So you have full name, email, roles, password. Oh, sorry. Password. So in the database, what I just first name. So first name, last name, tag, email, password, first name, last name, and roles. Okay. Tell me the modifications I need to make to Symfony API and the React admin to achieve this. I just would like to confirm that in the system instruction. Okay. The backend is running on HTTP, the admin front, and but this is the admin front end. The user front end is running on 4000. Yeah. All right. So I get back to the prompt. Now I'm going to implement in the admin front. Yes, it's in the admin front. We started. So sometimes writing the prompt is longer than writing the code, but I just want to show you how do I use it. So I'm going to ask this. I select it and I use a command AI code, let's say add code mini. And here you see that it displays the list of files, and it also displays the prompt that I entered, and we are now waiting for the LLMs to how to say it, to answer. Waiting for the LLMs to answer, I'm going to show you my Neovim configuration, which is prompting here the yeah, you can see it here. The command was AI code maxi and AI code mini, where the anthropic model is Claude 3.7 Sonnet. The Gemini model was Gemini 2.5 Pro Experimental, and the ChatGPT model is GPT-4o Mini, which is the cheapest one. That is why I call it Mini. And Maxi is when I want to use O1 Mini, which is a bigger model than 4o Mini. Why do I use the same model for Gemini? It's because both are free, so I'm not going to use a smaller model which is paying, because Gemini 2.0 Flash is a paying one, and Anthropic model, they don't have mini models, they just have the same model. So well, I use the same. I think they have answered. So here in my plugin, you can see that Claude 3.7 has answered, and user creation implementation. So first of all, it is talking about the backend changes. So proposes me to add something in the user controller, and it provides me the the whole file. Yeah, API user create, so it's okay, quite good. Then we have the repository, and here find one, and here we see that it proposes the save method. So this is quite good. And then it proposes me the front end reacted change, and as you can see, it is uh, it is um, it is talking about admin front and not user front. And API client, so the hot service freeze the configure blah 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 blah, create user and create user from component. Yeah, this is Gemini Claude, excuse me, Claude answer. And you know what? Because he is aware of the backend controller, he can just provide me the um, no, it's not here. He can just provide me the endpoint for the creation um, Where is it? Well, it's in the service, but we have what we want here. All right, and then update app.tsx with the thing, and for to include create a new user button, because I just had the list user and I didn't have the create new user. Okay, link to users, new add user. Right here, what I mean is back to profile. Okay, and we have manage users, and here we need the add to the add user here. Okay, and then the summary of changes. And here we have the Gemini 2.5 Pro, and this is why I talked about I can use as many LLMs as I want. I just gave one prompt and I have the answer of 3 LLMs. And when I say that I have the history, I'm going to close this pop-up and open the AI.history folder where I have all the history of my interaction with the LLMs. So I can have the isolated part of the answer of ChatGPT, GPT-4 4.0 mini, and then the isolated answer of Claude and the isolated answer of Gemini. So I'm going to open the Gemini answer. This is my prompt. I recognize it, and then I have the Gemini 2.5 Pro experimental answer. Okay, let's implement blah 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 blah. It's okay. I think I can trust this code, but what I'm going to do is yes. Which one? Which one am I going to take? Is it Claude or Gemini or Chat or 4.0? In my experience, the best LLMs for code are Claude and Gemini. Those ones are really rocking. Okay, so I'm going to copy. I choose Gemini, right? I think yeah, Gemini here, and it's the repository. Here I am. It's the user repository. I'm just going to delete it because I want to trust. Yeah, it's a blind trust, but yeah, it's okay. Already made it for a long time, and it's okay. So here I'm going just paste in the code, get back here, paste in it, and I see some changes. Yeah, find, insert. Okay. Yeah. Let me change my mind. I don't like the insert user name of the function. I don't like it. I prefer the save approach of Claude. So I change my mind. I will use Claude. Okay, and this is the good thing with it because I can change my mind and use the answer I want. So you have the controller, but here I am in the repository is here. So I take the repository. Right here. It's called save here, and it's in terms of philosophy, I prefer. Right? Okay. Yeah, and as you can see, Claude just changes this part. Yeah, right. So get back to Claude, get back to user controller. Yeah, fb cloud cloud. Yes, the user controller is going to be um, here, like this. I copied. Then the user controller is here. Oh, I didn't cut it. Okay, I will have to do it again. It's the cloud one here. Here. Yeah. Um, just to say that normally, usually I have a very wide screen, and here I just increased the font size, so it is how to say, it is, well, um, it is just smaller than usual. Then what does Gemini tells me? Claude, sorry. So then after the user controller we have the user repository, and then that's all for the backend one. Now let's first create a service function, service user service.ts, to handle the API request in user service admin front. Okay, up we have the admin front SRC services. It's already user service. It's already existing but small. So yeah, cloud, check, the face, create. Here we have it. Yeah, user service. You get it. Cloud here. Get users, and then create user form in components. Create user forms in components. Here. Create user form .tsx. Okay, it's a blank file, so there's no problem for to wipe it. Yeah. Right. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. You know, I'm reading the code while scrolling. Yeah. Create user form. There was a typo, so I'm going to I'm going to correct it. Rename. Get user form. Okay. So. Okay. 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 Let's get the cloud answer. After the user form, we have after the user form we have the it's a long one. The app.tsx, app.tsx, app in the admin front, app.tsx, that I'm going to wipe here. Close app.tsx. Check. Here. Good boy. Good boy, good boy. And then the user list.tsx component. User list. Yeah, it's the user list. Right. Long one. Yeah, it's a long one. Yeah. And user list. Just see where it has been. Yeah, okay. Okay. So normally we're done. Normally we are done. Up. I am going to. Okay, you have the add user. The button is here. So we have the pilot. Um, come and I have okay. Okay, is it a user or administrator? It is both, so we are going to create the user. QWERTY up. Okay. Passwords do not match. I'm going to make you match, guys. Yeah. Ah. I'm sorry. Duck, 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 duck. Duck, 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 duck. Duck, 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 duck. Duck, 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 duck. You have to match. Please try again. Okay. I think it's related to the let's see, like this. Yeah, Axios. So we are going to see. Yes, fill-in nul, fill-in row content nul. Tac, 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 tac. Oh, because I didn't make fill-in rows. It's not ID. Right. So it didn't see. Did I create? How did I create it? Ah, yes, okay. It was not. It was not how to say, auto incremented. So this is a very bad error. Integer. So I'm going to prompt it. Change the ID field of the database to be auto increment. Is currently not auto increment. Tell me the yes. So I just select this one. Of course, well, I can just perform a Google search but no, I prefer just to do it that way. I am consuming a lot of tokens for that mini action, but I just want to tell you. Okay. Like this, and paste. Then let's see if yes, okay. So you have the GitHub Copilot here. So you saw how it is. So I can add another user. Let's say YouTube channel. YouTube@gmail.com and 1 2 3 4 5 tac 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 1 2 3 4 5 tac 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 tac, and here I just make it, yeah, and you have the YouTube channel. Okay, so that is how it comes. One drawback is it didn't see that it's not auto-incremented, so we didn't have any um, we didn't have the right the right piece of code for that, but I solved it quite quickly when I because I saw what was the problem. Yeah, thank you for watching, and see you later.